past managing director of the Nigerian Port Authority, NPA, Hadiza Balausman, has said that one of the reasons why she was persecuted by former Minister of Transport, Rotimi Ameachi, was a failure to give him a birthday present. Now, this might appear or sound to you like rubbish, like what is this about? This does not concern us. It does concern you. This is to let you see deeper. Social media has been able to go deep into how Nigeria is being run. She revealed this in her new book released on Tuesday titled Stepping on Toes by Odyssey and the Nigerian Port Authority. Now, you know that oil, port, customs and immigration, and many other, establishments, government parastatals in Nigeria are what people call juicy position. Now, the former NPA boss wrote that many notable Nigerians met the minister in order to resolve the acrimony between them shortly after she was asked to step aside in May 2021. According to her, the minister rejected entreaties from governors, custom boss Ahmed Ali, and others to reinstate her, citing frivolous excuses of selfishness and failure to do nothing for him. Simply put, you sat down on money, chopping. Me, I'm to sit in the office. Nothing is coming. You did not say, Oga. I just said, let me say hello to you. And you send like 5 or 10, new SUVs or Mercedes Benz or something. Like, I know something is going on there. Money. But none is coming to me. Interest groups and leaders of the All Progressive Congress APC also try to intervene. I know, for instance, that governors elected on the platform of the APC, the Progressive Governors Forum, chaired by Governor Atiku Bagudu, deliberated on the issue of my suspension and constituted a committee to intervene, she wrote in the book. Now, you need to get the points together. Atiku Bagudu, Fulani, and she also being a Fulani, they tried to work it out in their own tribal capacity, but it failed. The governor's team met with the minister to discuss a resolution of the matter. He insisted that my management of the NPA had to be investigated due to the amount of unremitted to the CRF, Consolidated Revenue Fund. He even tried to sway the governor's resolve by suggesting that the budget of the NPA was bigger than most of their state budgets, so they shouldn't bother about me. When the governors persisted, he told them that the matter was no longer just within his purview and that they may need to approach the head of service of the Federation. He told another person who tried to intervene that I was so selfish that did nothing for him from NPA and never even gave him a birthday present. The Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Colonel Ahmed Ali, retired, also made effort to resolve the issue by intervening at various levels. In the book, she also revealed how the minister attempted to rope her with bogus charges of non-remittance of operating surplus into the Consolidated Revenue Fund, noting that the probe panel at the end of its prolonged investigation never found her wanting. On 5th May 2021, I took an early morning flight to Abuja to honor an appointment. The meeting ended early enough for me to catch a 2 p.m. flight back to Lagos. It was at this time that I learned that the president had approved that I should step aside as MD on the recommendation of the Minister of Transportation. On arrival in Lagos, I went to the office at the Marina to complete a letter explaining allegation of non-remittance of 165 billion naira operating surplus to the Consolidated Revenue Fund, which the minister had made against the NPA to the president. Unknown to me, in his determination to get me out of office, Mr. Ameachi had been fishing for a couple of months. In his desperation, he had approached the Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Mr. Ben Akaboize, and obtained details of the NPA operating surpluses, upon which he apparently arrived at the conclusion that a huge sum of money was unremitted. Let us be very clear before I proceed. It is true that a lot of money would not be remitted. We are talking of corruption, and it is a dog-eat-dog politics that they are playing. They are all criminals, they know. They are just angry. How is she spending this money and keeping it around a Fulani circle? So he too went to meet an Igbo man, Mr. Ben Akaboize, and said, look, give me something. This lady, she thinks she can just sit down and be chopping all the money. Without raising any queries about the matter, she went on to say, with the National Assembly, the minister wrote to the president, informing him of shortfalls in yearly remittance of operating surplus by the NPA between 2016 and 2020. He then concluded, in view of the above, I wish to suggest that the financial accounts of the activities of NPA be investigated for the period of 2016 to 2020 to ascertain the true financial position at the outstanding remitted balance of 165,320,962,697 naira only. That's a lot of money. He also sought presidential approval that I step aside from my position as managing director during the investigation and that Mr. Mohammed Bello Koko, executive director, finance and administration, should act as managing director in the interim. Many Nigerians found the choice of Bello Koko contradictory. They argued that as executive director of finance and administration, he should be found wanting if there are financial infractions. People also wonder why I was the only one who was asked to step aside when the probe was purportedly of the management of the authority, meaning there are others that should also step aside too. To show that this was a deliberate ploy, she went on to say, the minister did not mention Mr. Bello Koko's designation as executive director, finance and administration in his memo to the president. Secondly, he asked in the memo that President Buhari approval should be communicated to him through the Secretariat of the Presidency. This was to ensure that the correspondence did not come to the attention of the office of the Chief of Staff. Now, question we should ask is this: who is the Chief of Staff? Is that Chief of Staff from the north of Nigeria that will want to cover up? So he circumvented all the Fulanis. The way the minister went about his mission was curious. To start with, the budget office of the Federation was the wrong place to seek information about the frequency and accuracy of remittance from any government agency. The office of the Accountant General of the Federation was the appropriate place to have sought accurate information. I made this point in my letter to the Chief of Staff, to the President, in addition to providing details of the figures in question and the remittance made so far, she wrote. The truth of the matter is this: all of them are criminals. Don't let us waste our time. All of them are criminals. It's just that some criminals decide to keep the money stolen with their tribe, and he felt, no, this is not going to happen, and then decided to use his own political, experience as a civil servant or civil criminal looter, and he did what he did, and he arrived where he arrived. He knows that the president has always been talking about this consolidated account. He knows it. This has always been what, in fact, if questions are asked about electricity, the only thing you will hear from Mr. Buhari is consolidated revenue account. That's all. That's all he talks about. Let all the money come to a place so we can monitor it. This will reduce corruption. End of story. That's it. And she was kicked out. That's it. Now, there are people who are saying that ministers do not report to any chief of staff, to the president. There is a civil service with a head of service through which all government appointees are subject. There's also the secretary to the government, but some people turn the chief of staff to proxy. That's it. The chief of staff is not the proxy. Meaning a minister can go through with all government appointees through this civil service, head of service, this is subject to, a debate. People might say, no, he has the right to go this way. He doesn't have the right to go this way. But when you say someone has to go through a particular person, there's a possibility of using that also, that person that they have to always go through. If you cannot reach the president directly, you know how these things work anyway. All he did was to circumvent, not because he's a man of integrity himself. He wasn't protecting your money. No, he was trying to get some. He didn't get it. Then he decided to kick the person out. End of story. And these are also, according to what he is saying, is so selfish and greedy. These are all criminals. Clueless system. Dog eat dog politics. That's it. End of story. They're all criminals. They're all thieves. What are your thoughts? Drop it in the comment section. Like, share this video, subscribe to this channel.